the mind is, think of it like a piece of clay. You can mold it into any shape you want. For one person, his mind is a bit like a square, another person it's like a rectangle, another person it's like a circle. It's like a piece of clay that you can mold into any shape that you want. And that's exactly why we have our programming. A human being, his mind is a bit like a machine. It's a bit like a computer, which has a software written on it. And it's just functioning according to that software. So this is why, for example, you put 10 different people in the same situation, you'll have 10 different reactions, 10 different responses. Why is it for one person, when he's put in some situation, he may feel anger or he may feel fear? Another person, he's put in the same situation, he may be totally indifferent. Another person put in the same situation, perhaps love arises or compassion arises. Why all these differences? Because the programming is different, the conditioning is different. So I'm not saying we don't need a personality. You need a personality to function in the world. But I'm saying that the moment you start mistaking any of these masks for your true nature, now this is where all the problems arise. So essentially the reason why most people are suffering in the world. When I say suffering, I don't mean like, let's say you're being dragged to the torture chamber and your guts are spilling out and blood, I don't mean that kind of suffering. When I say suffering, I mean for some reason or another, you may have done many things in life, but still you feel something within you tells you it's not enough. So you may have a lot of money, you may have a lot of wealth, you may have attained so many things in life, but still there's this nagging voice within you that says, okay, it's not enough. And that's very natural, because think about it. Isn't the world always changing? Everything is changing. Situations are changing, your experience, thoughts are arising and subsiding, emotions are coming and going. Life is like a river that's constantly changing. And in this stream of change, tell me, what is it that's permanent? Nothing is permanent. Everything's a constant rhythm, moving from moment to moment. So why is it that a lot of people are suffering? It's just because they're clinging to so many things which are not permanent and pretending as if it's permanent. Starting with the body. Even this body, one day you will have to give it up, right? All the experiences of the mind, none of that is permanent either. So in an impermanent existence, you want to create some amount of stability and some amount of security. That's where all the problems are arising. Because if you're to really be in tune with life, it means you have to be flexible, like water, right? How is water? It changes from moment to moment. Water is in such a way that if you put the water into a bowl, it becomes the shape of the bowl. So this inner flexibility, this is part of what yoga is trying to bring into your experience. And that quality in yoga, it's called Vairagya. And Vairagya, it literally means without color. Without color, yeah. What do I mean by that? For example, let's say you take a bowl with water. I put red ink into the bowl. Now the water becomes red, but the nature of the water doesn't change, right? The water still remains the water. I put blue ink into the bowl, it becomes blue, but still the water does not change. Its nature does not change. So that's a certain flexibility where you can have any kind of experience and at the same time nothing rules over it. Nothing rules over you. So let's say, for example, love arises in me. I can let the love be there. I can enjoy it. I can experience it. but the love doesn't rule over me. Or let's say fear is arising. I can allow the fear to be there. I simply observe, but yet the fear doesn't rule over me. Whatever is happening in your experience, whatever you're seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching, you can experience all this. And yet, you've not become a slave to any of this. So this is why you may have heard so much talk about detachment. Right? You may have heard about detachment. I personally don't like the word detachment. Because if you look at the meaning of the word detachment in the dictionary, you'll find it means something like something which was part of the whole, which has now become separated, removed. So for example, let's say there's a horse connected to a cart. If I remove the cart from the horses, I can say that the cart has become detached. Or if I remove the wheels from the cart, I can say that the wheels have become detached. But that's not involvement, right? That's not involvement. Do you want to be detached? If I'm detached from existence, doesn't this mean I'm not involved in existence? So, I don't like the word detachment. A better word for it is non-attachment or non-identification. You can still be totally involved, you know? You can still be totally involved in the world, but not of the world. You can be involved in the experience of the mind, yet you're not of the mind.